Back with more Titans. This is episode 12 of season 3, penultimate episode of the season. Very excited to see what they're going to be doing next. Last episode ended with Dick getting shot and potentially dead, which isn't great, but we do have a Lazarus Pit on hand that Rachel and Gar tracked down, so if they need to use that, then hooray, we're golden. So we had that. We had some revelations about Corey and the fact that the powers she had were actually originally Blackfire's powers all along. But she does have some of her own abilities that she's just unlocked. So hopefully we can delve into a bit of why that is, what's going on with that. Dick also used some kryptonite on Connor and Crypto, which wasn't ideal. I have seen some behind the scenes things about cut storylines that make a lot more sense. So that's something. But I'm imagining Connor's not going to be best pleased about that, so we're going to see any repercussions of that. Who can say? But given that is the penultimate episode, I think we're going to get some big moments to kind of process and deal with as we get ready for the finale. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen. I'm excited to see more of Donna and Tim being, mother and son. So yeah, it should be good to see what they focus on this time. But let's get into the episode. You just found the Lazarus Pit.
It's too late.
Oh. He's king of the bats now. Oh shit. Whoa. Holy fuck. New animal! I thought it'd be a bat. That CG looked amazing. Oh my god. Lovely. I bet that's great for the skin. Probably.
Is he gonna make it?
I mean,
No.
I'd assume so.
Would have thought it was so.
Sneeze right now. Save everyone a lot of time.
Gotham will be saved, but first it must be destroyed. As clever hopes expire.
Jason didn't read the T's and C's.
Who will die? All of them! All of them! Everybody!
Jason realises for the 10th time that he's probably made a mistake here.
Keep running, boy. Keep running.
Well, he wasn't going to stop, was he?
Enough trying to be a superhero. Last time you almost died.
No one's going to die. Stay here. I'll be back.
She's the authority on that, to be fair.
See you soon. Same crane channel, same crane time.
This guy. I appreciate his vibe, if nothing else.
When a parent dies, it's like the ground beneath you suddenly gives way.
Not when you snap their neck.
You felt fear. You doubt rage.
And he can learn to
You get it.
kind of do differently now.
Jason, you never stood a chance, did you?
It is interesting that
Always wanted him dead.
in his subconscious he does feel like he let Jason down. Oh, damn. Huh. Oh.
I need your keys and your car.
Oh.
Fuck off.
Don't make me ask twice.
Ah, it's a cool way of getting rid of it.
There's a part of me that wants to destroy Dick for what he did to me. There's the part that says...
I wonder which 50% that is.
Then keep going.
Just you and me?
Hmm.
And crypto.
I won't hesitate, bitch. Oh.
Don't ding up your ride.
What's wrong?
I'm okay.
He turned to a bat, probably.
Fear cracked it open for a brief moment.
Fear is a big deal this season.
Just slammed shut again.
It wasn't hate. They gave me power.
this season's kind of about people channeling fear into something strong for them, isn't it?
Here, close your eyes. Trust me.
Oh, didn't you do this for her in season 1? When she asked like what it was like to change.
You have everything you need.
I don't want this.
You say that now you've beaten him to death. Yeah, he has another father figure he can like let himself be defined by, but he chooses not to, I guess.
Dad, I'm sorry.
Until now.
My way.
Daddy, come here.
Is that his and Corey's like future kid? It's what he wants, he's reaching out for it. Hopefully that's not attached to Pennywise.
And you failed.
Nice.
Hi, Blackfire. Wow, it is so great.
She's gonna bring out the Lex Luthor side a bit more, I think, isn't she?
Is that your ship?
Yes.
Oh.
You told me you destroyed it.
Yeah, that was a tiny white lie.
Why would I want to return home to a planet where everyone hates me? The people of Tamara
Fair
treated
point.
me just like you did.
Go travelling though.
And they were wrong.
Oh.
Unite the Titans.
Unite the Titans where?
Take the Madonna.
Huh.
Did you just say
You wanna be a hero? Save your lives, I fucking live. Get in the damn truck.
It's tough love, but I think she's right.
It's not your fault. Our parents did this. They lied
That's true.
to both of us.
I'm glad they're not gonna just fight over it.
Now I want my throne. How long will it take to prepare my ship to Tamarin?
You want to go back?
Oh, she's got the claim.
Stay here with me. To hell with everyone else.
I wish I could.
Oh boy.
Kryptonite. So Connor was here. What the hell happened?
Where'd he go?
Some shenanigans.
Titan on site leading evacuation.
Titan on sight.
Oh, is that Tim? Oh, yes! Reunite with Donna.
Don't even think about it.
You're not Robin. Having some secret
Not yet.
doesn't mean that you're ready to leap off buildings with a cape.
I'm asking you to believe in me. Just give me a chance.
Oh boy. She doesn't want
Sorry.
your blood on her hands, though.
This is the thanks you give me.
Give over, mate. You're shouting at clouds.
I saw you die. Right here.
You died too? Is it really a surprise? Like he was the one who destroyed that helmet when they first fought.
Titan again.
Now he's giving it back.
No, you'll never be a Titan again. But you can help me save Gotham.
You can be the Red Hood you're supposed to be now. Not Crane's version.
How do I know you're not going to kill me? Because now I know what it's like to die.
Oh. Huh, that's a good line.
Something's wrong. Turn it off.
Oh. I mean, that's just gonna piss her off if you, like, force her to stay.
Looks like your destiny arrived after all.
Oh, nice.
Oracle. Command activate.
Oh. It's actually really nice seeing them, like, on the same side.
Fuck.
Basically, yeah.
It is the month for dying.
For you, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Okay, fantastic episode. I loved it. There's so much to talk about. They got a lot kind of covered, but the stage has been set, I think, very nicely for the finale. So yeah, that should be really exciting to see how they wrap up season 3, set up next season as well. I mean, I'm sure we're going to get season 4. I know they haven't officially announced it yet, but I think that'll come probably the DC fandom event coming up. Doom Patrol just got renewed, I think, earlier today for another season. I'm pretty sure Titans will follow suit. So yeah, hopefully no big cliffhangers and then they cancel it, because I will never get over it. But either way, what a fantastic episode. Where do I even begin? There's just so much. We can start with the very beginning, I guess, and Rachel and Gar saving Dick, getting him to the Lazarus Pit. Gar turned into a new animal. We have a bat. And it looked amazing, the effect of that, when he kind of was transforming. Like, oh, God. Very, very well done. I wonder if they were just, like, saving Gar animal budget for the entire season so they could do that, because it really did pay off in a cool way. They were hinting as well that, you know, he could become a bat. He was kind of feeling a connection to them in a way in the past few episodes. So the fact that that was what he ended up being was really cool. And yeah, it looked great. I mean, they probably could have just carried Dick to the Lazarus Pit, but sure, summon an army of bats to fly him there instead. I guess thematically it kind of makes sense. But yeah, any opportunity to show off Gar's powers in such a cool way, I'm here for. So I adored that. I loved the scene with Rachel and Gar when they were talking next to the Lazarus Pit while they were waiting for Dick to do his thing. That sounds wrong. But when Gar was talking about, you know, my powers are often like locked behind fear or something, and he knows he can be more, which is kind of, again, I think a wink wink from the writer saying, yes, we know we probably could have done more animals and done more, but TV show budgets, I guess. And they kind of gave like a reason for why Gar hasn't, you know, turned into like 50 different animals by this point. And, you know, I quite like the slow burn of that development for his powers. Because it feels like even this episode, Dick has finally properly found himself again, I think. And now we're going to get the Nightwing we know and love full and proper. Same with Jason. You know, I think it's going to take this entire 13 episode season to get him to a place where like, well, that's the Red Hood we know from the comics now. Because he is free to make Red Hood his own and make it the character that we are familiar with. And we're kind of getting that with Gar now. I feel like, you know, Rachel, it took some time for her to kind of get used to her powers, and she's really in control of them this season. It's a shame we didn't really see a lot of that development on screen, but it has happened at least. And yeah, what Gar's kind of going through with wondering if his powers are like locked behind something, and what Rachel was telling him, the fact that she mastered her powers through love, not hate or fear or anything like that. Relating it back to, you know, how he kind of helped her through that in season 1. I think there's a clear parallel between that as well. He was like, oh, you know, trust your eyes. Trust your eyes? Did I say trust your eyes? I meant close your eyes and trust me. Trust your eyes, guys. If there's anything to take away from this season, trust your eyes. That's what I've learned. But yeah, when he said that to her, I think it was like fairly early on in season 1, and she did that to him in this kind of scenario, and just showed that deep connection they have, that understanding that she has of him, and allowing him to see like you have everything you need to fully advance your powers. So hopefully in the next episode and future seasons to come, you know, it's maybe open season for what Gar can do, what he can become. Hopefully they will start giving him more kind of power-based stuff to do, some more meaty material to work with, because when he gets it, you know, Ryan always delivers, and that's why he's my favourite character on the show. And Beast Boy's one of my favourite characters in DC anyway, has been since I was a kid. So to kind of see a really cool moment for him like that was kind of like, I'm going to be riding that high until the finale, when hopefully they do even more cool things. But yeah, I loved the scene between those two when they were talking. One of my favourite scenes of the episode for sure. I just love their bond so much. So that was a lovely moment, and hopefully a mutual understanding of like how they've come to accept their powers, embrace them, how they can advance them. So that could be really cool for Gar's character moving forward. So I loved everything with that. And the fact that they were there to kind of get Dick to Lazarus Pit, and they stayed by his side as he revived himself. That was all very, very good. Loved those two to death. And this is also a huge episode for Dick, obviously. He went through some stuff in the Lazarus Pit. He went through his own little crucible kind of revelations. And I liked the idea behind it of, like, he's been so consumed and focused on, you know, the father figure that's raised him for most of his life, as opposed to the father figure he did have when he was born, and for, you know, still a significant time, was his only father figure. And maybe he can lean into that side of things more and embrace the side of, you know, his biological father as well as Bruce. I think he's been so wrapped up in the be a better Batman, and that's all he can kind of see. Like, his driving motivations have been about Batman, been about Bruce, and in doing so, he's not really reached the potential as Nightwing, because it's all about being a better Batman as opposed to just being Nightwing. And I think embracing the side that he also gets from his father, that's going to find that balance to him. And he's going to find who Nightwing really is now, the hero he is going to be. So I'm very excited for that, and I'm glad he's kind of worked his way through that, and finding some peace, I think, with his dad in that moment as well. Finding some peace over Jason. I feel like I liked that subconsciously that kind of showed that he was quite guilty about what happened to Jason, and he felt like he was responsible and did let him down. And I think he's kind of pushed that away for a lot of this season because he doesn't want to face up to that. But I guess when you die, you are forced to go through that kind of thing. Because we've had him all season being like, no, it's too late for Jason, he's too far gone. But when he absolutely needed to think about it and consider it, he's like, no, there's still a chance we can save him, actually. So I think he sees a lot of himself in Jason. He kind of realises, oh, this is what Jason went through when he died. Like, how much that must have messed him up. I understand that now. And, you know, they both have these influences on them and their crime-fighting ways from Bruce Wayne, who's a very fucked up guy. I think he's kind of realised that understanding. She's like, well, I just need to reach out to him, I think. And maybe he can change. Maybe, you know, I think he can respect the fact that Jason killed Hank and did some terrible shit to the Titans. So maybe he can't properly join the team ever again. But just like he discovered in himself, like, this is who I could potentially be as Nightwing now that I've made all this peace with myself and my dad, and maybe finding new ways of channeling stuff and focusing on things, much in the sense as like Rachel and Gar, like trying to find their focus point for who they are. I think Dick's kind of doing the same. Jason can also do the same. I think he's realised that now, free of Crane's influence, Jason now has a chance to redeem himself and become a better Red Hood, a new and improved version than the one that Crane made. He can just do it of his own accord if they worked together to properly sever that connection to Crane, which he did, and he reached out to him. And I love the symbolism behind him, you know, destroying the helmet a bit, cracking in that helmet during their first confrontation this season, to then handing it to him, not even in costume, just as Dick Grayson, kind of handing him his helmet back. Like, you can help me save Gotham. You can be that hero again. So I think that's going to open up Jason to find his balance. I'm very interested to seeing where Jason will end up at the end of this season. In an ideal world, I'd get a Red Hood and the Outlaw spin-off, and he'd probably go into that show. Because if he can never be a Titan again, why is he going to be on Titans? You know, I feel like they need to maybe move him away or do something a bit clever with his story to keep him on the show. And I don't know if that would feel organic. And I'm absolutely here for Red Hood show, because again, Red Hood is one of my favourite characters in DC, as well as Beast Boy. So I'd be very excited to see what Cohen can do with that, because I think he's been fantastic this season as this kind of manipulated Red Hood. But just because we've kind of gotten one origin for Red Hood doesn't mean we can't get another one for the Red Hood that I think a lot of people would want to have seen this season. I think we're going to get to that point now, and it's his new kind of definitive origin story that he chooses to define him, as opposed to the Crane kind of origin story. So that could be really cool. I just like seeing him and Dick working together on that, even though, you know, Crane seemed to be one step ahead of them and got those chemical weapony things first. They can still be on the same side and fight the same fight when it truly counts. So I'm very excited for that. Crane has just lost his mind entirely. I enjoy his vibes and his energy, just not his intentions or anything else that goes along with it. Just like casually cutting the dead guy's hand off. I'm like, calm, buddy, calm down. But you can see him just getting so wrapped up in his own shit much like Dick has for basically 3 seasons. And I guess Jason has in a way as well. A lot of the Titans have. And that's kind of often been to their faults and to their downfall. So the fact that he's kind of in that mindset now, I think he's very caught up in his own stuff. He's getting very cocky. I think that's going to be his downfall. And I feel like, he knows identities and shit. I think Crane's probably not going to be long for this world after this season. I think that's only fair. So yeah, I'm excited to see where that kind of gets resolved and what they could do with that. So yes, we'll see what happens with it. Then we had a bit of story with Barbara. I liked how badass she was just getting herself out of that situation, and she's gone to Oracle now. I don't know if Oracle's still going to be there, because obviously she got tricked into kind of shutting it down entirely. But could that lead her to maybe taking on the Oracle name for herself? She could realise, maybe being an outlaw isn't so bad, especially because we know in this particular version of Barbara, it's in her backstory to go around stealing shit. She could be an outlaw, maybe. So her adopting the Oracle persona, maybe she could be inspired by getting the machine version of it back up and running. That'd be really cool to see. It's like an end game thing. I think the next episode will be the Titans leave Gotham and probably go back to San Francisco or go somewhere else. I think season 3 is just going to be the Gotham season, that's it. So I think Barbara will probably remain behind, especially because I didn't even mention, did I, the little kid that's probably Dick and Corey's future child. Very, very pleased to have gotten a little breadcrumb like that. Thank you very much, Titans. And the fact that Dick was so excited about it and so welcoming of that little girl. I think subconsciously he knows what he really wants and who he really wants. And because again, Dick's been so caught up this season about Bruce Wayne, Batman, be a better Batman, so consumed in his past. I think that really led him back literally and physically to Barbara. And I think now he's kind of stepping away from that and maybe finding a balance. Maybe, that's going to lead to him and Barbara parting ways again. Hopefully on good terms, but still, nevertheless, parting ways. So I liked that little kind of Dick and Corey breadcrumb. Thank you. Hopefully that will be something that actually decide to develop again at some point. But yeah, anyway, Barbara, I liked her kind of getting out of that situation and setting up Oracle to hopefully do some good herself in the finale. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen with her, because I really like what Titans has done with Barbara. I really enjoyed this interpretation a lot. I wouldn't be, against seeing her again. She could pop up for a few guest appearances. Hell, if they do a Red Hood show, why not have her be Oracle on that for a bit or something? I don't know. Be interesting. Especially if Jason does remain in Gotham and stuff. Maybe those two could work together a bit more closely and form some kind of crew. But yeah, we got a few little moments for her. Not a huge amount, but hopefully she will play into the finale. And we hadn't seen her in a few episodes, so it was cool to see her. And then Tim and Donna, I like them continuing to try and lead this revolution, try and lead this uprising. The other Titans are kind of aware of her presence as well now, so that's kind of setting up the big reunion with her in the next episode. I don't know how Dick knows that Donna's alive. I feel like I missed something. I'm guessing when he was dead, he kind of just sensed that she was gone or something. I don't know. Did he go to the place where Hank was very, very briefly before they dumped him in the pit, and he kind of realised that she wasn't there? I don't know. Maybe I've missed something with that, but either way, he knows that she's around. And with the radio message from Tim that Rachel and Gara overheard, they obviously know that, well, they can assume that Donna is back as well. So very, very excited for all those reunions, and we're going to get the Titans coming back together, I think, in a major way in the finale, and I'm here for it. So yeah, very happy about that. And I enjoy the Donna and Tim dynamic so much. I like her, really adapting very well into the leadership role that she's kind of found herself in right now. I do like Tim's constant want to be believed in, I guess, and he's like, it's my destiny to be the next Robin, and he wants to stay and fight for Gotham. He's very stubborn about that. Donna's also very stubborn, so that's going to be why they clash a bit. But I do think Tim will find a way to save the day, maybe, and help out a bit in the next episode, and that'll kickstart his journey to becoming Robin. But I'm loving what they've done with Tim this season. I think Jay is doing a fantastic job as the character. Long may it continue. I hope we do see him suit up probably next season. So yeah, I'm liking all of their kind of interactions, and I really want Tim to meet the rest of the team. And that's kind of my big hope for the finale, is that he actually gets to meet them all. I think that'd be really fun. Even if like, you know, they win the day, they have a little party afterwards, like they did in like episode 7 or whatever it was. And you know, Donna brings him along or something, and he meets everyone and gets enrolled in the Titans or something. That'd be really fun. It'd also be nice to see Dawn in the finale. I don't know if that's going to happen. I feel like Dawn's just left the show. But it would be cool to see her come back and help out the proceedings. But I don't know if she would. Maybe she's like heard on the news that Nightwing's dead. She rushes back to Gotham to see, what the hell, another one? And then she helps out in that way. That'd be fun. But I wouldn't also be surprised if we don't see her. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, there was that. And then I liked Corey tracking down Blackfire. And it wasn't just a fight in the end. She's kind of accepted, like, well, I have powers anyway, so it's fine. And it was like, you know, this is your destiny, Blackfire. I can go with you back to Tamaran if you want. We can explain things. And because Blackfire kind of realised that it was her destiny, I like the talk of destiny a lot in this episode as well. She's kind of decided to go back to Tamaran instead of her initial plan to just hang out with Connor and Crypto and be an admittedly pretty powerful team, going about on their little adventures. Fuck the Titans, of course. There always has to be someone who doesn't like the Titans at any one time. But yeah, that was really cool to kind of find Blackfire and Corey make peace with that and realise that it's their parents that were at fault, not either one of them. So they kind of had that mutual understanding. That was a nice development for them. Very happy they didn't just come down to, you know, a fight. And Corey's not like, oh, those are the powers that I've had all my life. I want those particular powers back. She's kind of happy with what she seems to have now once she learns about it a bit more. And I actually really like Blackfire with the powers. I think she's quite cool with them, like when she took that guy's car and everything. I do like the comedic side to her character as well. Although I doubt we're going to get a lot of that in the next episode because she's going to be pissed. I get where Connor's coming from in the sense that he'd just been betrayed by Dick and he was like, you know what, screw those guys. I've got my girlfriend who I really care about. I've got my dog who I really care about. That's all I need. Let's go and do our own thing. And then for that to instantly be like, actually, Connor, I've probably found something better because I'm going to go and be a queen, which I've kind of wanted for a long time. And it turns out it is my destiny, my birthright. So I'm going to go by. And obviously he can't go with her because he would die. That's going to be obviously a big punch in the gut, because they're just talking about how it just needs to be only those two, and it seemed to be a real commitment that they were making with each other. And then 10 minutes later she's like, actually, bye. So that's going to sting, obviously. I get that. I get him being upset about that. But for him to sabotage the ship so it just explodes and takes away her choice, just like a lot of her people did for her for a long time, don't think she's going to be best pleased. I can't see that relationship ending particularly well by the end of this season. Maybe in the long term she might forgive him, whatever, but yeah, it shouldn't have been, you know, I'm going to take her choice away. She's not going to leave. She's going to stay with me, because what do you think is going to happen, pal? I don't think she's going to be like, well, I guess I can't go. We'll just be together. That's fine. She's going to be pissed at you. You've taken away something she was born to do. So I get he's kind of acting out of that, and especially because with Blackfire he's really lent into his Lex Luthor side a bit more. I like that they revisited like the guy who was experimenting on Blackfire and stuff. He's kind of lenting into that side a bit more. So he's still probably in a bit of that mindset. He's like, oh, I'll be a bit devious here. And you know, he's still also incredibly young, really, when you think about it. So naive in that sense, very childlike in that sense. But yeah, to do that after you just felt so betrayed yourself by Dick, it was a choice. So I think there's gonna be some fireworks there, and probably not in a good way, probably in a literal sense as she tries to blow him up. So yeah, at least Corey's there to maybe try and settle things down, but how successful she'll be, we don't know. And you know, maybe they'll get distracted by what's going on in Gotham and they'll go back and say, we'll park this for now, let's go and join the other Titans and stop Crane or whatever. And maybe that'll be something for season 4 to explore, I don't know. But hot mess, hot mess. And I do feel bad for Blackfire that her choice was taken away there. I'm glad they haven't really gone like the full evil route with her. Maybe they still will after this, I don't know. And like leaning into the Lex Luthor side of Connor is also quite interesting. I can, in a sense, understand where he's coming from. I can see the reasons for his actions. I can't excuse them though. So we'll see where that leads. But lots of fantastic stories going on in this episode. Lots of really interesting themes they explored. The stage has been set for an awesome finale, I think. I think Titans has kind of struggled with finales in the past. I don't think either of them have been like, boom, yes, that was a great way to end the season. That was like best episode of the season. And I don't know if they've ever really hit home like that. Hopefully season 3 does change that. If it's anything, even if it's like half as good as this one, I'd kind of be satisfied, because I really enjoyed this episode a lot. Hopefully they will kind of land on everything they've set up in a very, very cool way. But yeah, fantastic episode. Absolutely adored it. Can't wait to see how it ends next week. Can't believe this season ends next week. Been a blink of an eye, and like here we are. It's nuts. But yeah, really loved it. Can't wait for the finale. And until my next reaction, thanks for watching.